A lot of these guys, man, they're not gonna be able to whoop me, so I don't really care like what they think or say. And I think they're peons. To be honest with you, they're peons with titles. And a lot of people they're probably watching right now. I respect so and so. How dare you say that? I bet you won't say nothing to me though, because they're cowards.
Right.
And I watched them be cowards. We talk about 2022 cowards. We talk about my race as cowards. A lot of things they should speak up for and stand for, cowards. And then the measure of a man is what he will do when not only when people are watching, when nobody's watching. When nobody's watching, what will you do? What would you stand for? What are your principles? And a lot of these guys, I don't think they're guided by principles. They're guided by money, fame, and there's a dinner party on Saturday. Like, who cares? What about your family? Do you even raise your kids? Like, like who's raising your kids? Like, it's a lot of interesting dynamics to these folks.
Yeah, yeah. Your wife Adya is a professional and a beautiful woman. How'd you pull her?
How'd I pull her?
You had to pull her. Yeah, how you pull her, man?
It wasn't a pull. Just
it wasn't a pull.
It wasn't a pull. Like we just friends.
Y'all did y'all meet in law school?
We met in law school. We're just friends.
It's always like that. Seems like to me, man. When lawyers hook up, it's like it's always seemed like they met in law school.
Well, we met in law school. We didn't start dating until years later though. When we were in law school, we both were.
Would y'all see each other at an event or something?
No, we just stayed in contact. We were always friends. We stayed in contact, and then I think I might have been. I think I went to the JAG officer OBC in Virginia, and she was in DC, and we just like met up, and then we went from there. But we were always friends. There was no pull per se. It was just a good relationship.
Yeah. I know because Adya has been on the show several times, and boy, she just light up when she talk about you all the time, man. I knew you was a good dude anyway, because Adya ain't no chump. You know what I'm saying? She ain't the type that'll mess with a chump. And she's solid, and she's a fighter.
Oh, yeah.
How do she says to you that you don't know how to turn it off? Does she turn it off? Can she turn it? Does she know how to turn it off?
She thinks she does. She believes. I'm looking at the camera. She believes she does, but she doesn't. I mean, it's more so she just don't want to have a conversation at the time. But I don't think she turns it off. No.
Yeah.
No, she's always on go.
Right.
Always on go. And that's one thing I like watching too. Like, her growth. From leaving the DA's office and representing these people in all these cases and stuff. She doesn't let people play with her clients at all, and I think her clients appreciate it.
Right.
She's dogged about defending her clients, which I think is good, and that's why again she don't have to go dancing to TikTok videos. They're gonna call and they're gonna refer because we're doing like real good work. We're not out here. It's kind of like with the cars and stuff, right? You don't see a lot of Ferrari, Lamborghini commercials. You know what I'm saying? Because they're quality cars and it's word of mouth. And I think she's been able to do the same thing with her practice, just draw people in because. Good work, solid person, real personality, built on principle, and that's rare, to be honest with you, in the legal community and in the political community.
Yeah, you spoke about some of the things in during your judgeship that kind of left you a little jaded. Was there any particular case that you was involved with that made you see the legal system differently?
No, I think I can't say differently because I knew what I was walking into. So I went to Tuskegee. The first semester there, you learn a lot about history, and my parents they big on history. So I just say the nicest way I can say is I've learned a lot about history and how history repeats itself, and I knew what I was getting into. So I wasn't really nothing like shook me up. There was nothing happened I didn't expect. Let me put it like that. I think there were a lot of times. There's some times I feel like I can be proud of. I think there was a time like the very first week I was on the bench. There was a gentleman, I think he had gotten, it was like they were stealing like gas or fuel or something, some fuel case. I never actually even seen it before until he came up there and they're about to put him in prison. And I was like, well, I saw him, he came in there, it was him, his wife, and like 3 girls. And, he's getting ready to go to prison.
Over some gas?
Like, it was a lot of gas, though. And then, I asked, I said, hey, have you guys, has the complainant been made whole? Like, is he able to pay it back or whatever? And then they didn't even think about it. Oh, yeah, he can pay it back or whatever. So they came up with a little thing like that. Well, let's see if he can pay it back, come back, and we'll do something else. Because in my mind, I view crime like this. You got violent cases with victims. You got violent cases without victims, like shooting in the air, things of that nature. And you got nonviolent crimes with victims, like fraud, things of that nature. And you just got nonviolent crimes. Does that make sense? Those 4 categories. Here we have a guy with a nonviolent crime with a victim. He's not a murderer. He's not. I guess technically he's not a robber. But it goes to the point of he's not somebody we're afraid of. He's somebody we're mad at. Does that make sense? Like, we're not afraid of this guy. Like, we're not, we're mad at this guy because he did wrong. And back to the earlier portion of this interview, your harm analysis, right? The harm. Now, if we can make this guy whole, the complainant make him whole, and then he's got 3 young daughters there, and they're about to give him years, what's going to happen to them daughters while he's away? Like, are we about to create 3 new people going to come in this courtroom? Is that necessary? Does that make sense? So we talked about it, and they agree we did something different. He wound up going on like deferred, no issues like that afterwards. But I thought I was proud of that moment in a sense because they're just about to send my man down the road when he's got the wife, the 3 children. He's the breadwinner. What you think is about to happen with them? You're about to. Does that make sense? We're about to create a cycle right here, and we're able to quote in essence stop a cycle. For all intents and purposes, because if he goes down the road, they lose their house, whatever. Who knows what criminal conduct people might get in, or what might happen to these young girls if he's not around. And I'm not saying he's a great person. I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm saying I didn't think the juice was worth the squeeze on that one.
Yeah. The juice wasn't worth the squeeze. The steak was not worth the sizzle. And the crime, the time did not fit the crime.
Nah. And everyone agreed. Like they just didn't think about it. Like everyone agreed. And, I think we did like a community supervision. And again, he was somebody we're mad at. We're not afraid of him. Now let's say he came in there, he like butchered somebody or did some crazy thing. Well, see you later. You know what I'm saying? Too much. Hey, sorry. But this one we weren't afraid of this guy. Like no one don't be afraid of this guy.
Speaking of butchering someone, have you been following the David case?
No. What's that?